Open your mind. Open your heart. To receive all the marvels of life and from the universe. You will be happy when you learn to appreciate, treasure and thank, for a simple glass of water. When you appreciate, treasure and thanks, for a simple piece of bread. When you appreciate, treasure and thanks for even 5 minutes of rest. When you appreciate, treasure and thanks, for a simple breath of air. When you appreciate and treasure life. Fear. The definition of fear: it's the sensation of anguish caused by the presence of a real or imaginary danger. A present danger or a future danger. An imaginary danger. That anguish for a real, imaginary, very probably, unprobably or unlikely danger. Even if that danger it's highly probably, even so, it's still imaginary, because it has not happened. Even if the danger it's highly probably, low probably or without real basis, even so, it's still not real. The anguish for a real danger or only imaginary. Unlikely, probable or not very probable. Indeed, fear it's to something imaginary. Not real. Why does it happen, what we don't want to happen? Why does it always happen, what we don't want to happen? This is something extremely interesting, and this is the proof and evidence of the law of attraction, and the power of our mind and our imagination. First of all, let me tell you that the three most powerful forces, feelings, emotions and thoughts are the fear, the hate, and love. In that particular order, they are equally powerful, and we feel them many times in our daily lives. But fear it's something that it's not real, it is an illusion. I mean, the fear it's real, the feeling of fear it's real. But the events that you fear, are still not real. Let me explain it to you, with this example. Let's say you are afraid of crashing your car. Even if you are sitting in your living room relaxed. You will start to think about that event, of not crashing your car, and in your mind, you are imagining and visualizing this event, you are even visualizing all the details. How will it happen? What it's the color of the other vehicle? What kind of clothes does the other driver are wearing? What weather will it be? What will your coworkers say? How will your parents react? How will you feel about this event? And you are visualizing and feeling all these details in your own mind, with your powerful imagination. Over, and over, and over again. But let me tell you that this accident has not happened. It is an illusion. It has not happened. It's not real. But if you keep devoting so much time and energy to visualizing that fear, then you will make it real. You are attracting what you fear, because you are visualizing it over and over and over again. Consciously and unconsciously. Think about this. How much time of your day do you use to visualize your fears and your worries? More than 3 or 5 hours per day. Consciously and unconsciously. But how much time of your life and energy do you use to think and visualize good things, good events, money, wealth and happiness? Maybe 5 or 10 minutes per day. And that's why, there are a lot more of bad moments, bad events, bad things and bad people manifesting in your life than good events. Because you are assigning a lot more time and energy to visualize and fear this bad events and ugly things than to visualize good things and happy events. We are attracting what we fear. Because we use a lot more time visualizing these events. Instead of visualizing good and happy events. Consciously and unconsciously. It seems that fear, it's in our subconscious, or that fear it's our subconscious. But how can we use our subconscious, consciously? Perhaps we have to ask for what we want, when we are very afraid and worry about something. Because maybe that's the direct way to access our subconscious. Through our fear. Maybe fear, it's a lot more powerful than the hope and the faith. Our subconscious has the power to manipulate the energy, forces and things of the entire universe. When we find the way to use our subconscious, consciously, then we can control everything. Everything. Why do we think that it's easier for bad things to happen, than for good things? Why? If really, the probabilities of that something bad or good happens, are exactly the same. If you wake up and think, today I'm going to crash my car. Then you will surely, will crash your car. But why? Why? Only the bad things that we think and fear happens, instead of the good things that we hope and wanted so much for. Why? Could it be that fear is more powerful than joy and happiness? Why, if we wake up and say, today I'm going to win the lotto, why does that never happens? Why always happens what we do not want to happen? Why always happens what we fear? Why only happens what we fear? Why happens what we do not want to happen? Why? Is it really fear, a lot more powerful than happiness, faith, and hope? Is it? If we use the same energy and intensity to attract bad things than good things and situations. But why always happens what we don't want to happen, instead of happening what we wants? Why does it always happens what we fear? Why? Maybe because we believe that it is easier for bad things to happen, instead of good things. And that is why bad things happen to us, all the time. Because we accept that it is easier for bad things and situations to happen. And we concentrates and focuses on bad things and events, because we accept them more easily. Consciously and unconsciously. But, it could be if I say, oh my God, I'm so afraid, because today I'm going to win the lotto. Oh my God, I'm so afraid, because today it's going to be the best day of my life. Oh my God, I'm so afraid, because today I'm going to be transformed into a woman. Oh my God, I'm so afraid, because today I'm going to find a lot of money on the street. Do you think that by thinking like this, it could work? But you should know that the probabilities that something bad or good happening to you are exactly the same. That it's why you have to focus and concentrate on good and wonderful events, situations, and things. Because your mind, it's the one that will attract them to you. If you have a bad thought or omen, clap 5 times. Snap your fingers 6 times. And repeat this 6 times. Yes, it's not going to happen. To eliminate that bad premonition or omen, we ourselves attracts what we fear. Consciously and unconsciously. Overcome all of your fears. The power, the money, and the success are not for the weak, shy, and fearful. The courage will end the fear. Courage, faith, hope, and strength, and the confidence in yourself will end the fear. The only way to overcome the fear is the intelligence, the strength, the courage, the confidence in yourself, the faith, and the hope that will overcome the fear. Courage is the only way to end fear. Be strong, brave, intelligent, and determined. Always and everywhere, and with whoever you are with. Always. I see on internet so much videos of people who do such absurd, stupid, and dangerous things that it looks that they really don't care about their safety and their own life. Life, it's truly a miracle, but yes, maybe life, it's not the same for all. Unfortunately, that are a lot of people who suffers too much of poverty, violence, hunger, hard work, and the lack of almost everything. Which makes them think that life, it's not a miracle. I know. To appreciate life, you have to have a good and happy life. To love life, you need to have a good and happy life. And maybe the people who put their life at risk, and that they don't fight for their own life, and people who gets into dangerous acts, it's because they really does no appreciate their own life. For them, life, it's not a miracle. Because when you have so much hunger, so much problems, so much scarcity and lack of everything, so much problems, and so few good moments, then you don't appreciate and think that life, it's a miracle or good. For millions of people, life, it's not good, less a miracle. And that's why, maybe so much people don't appreciate their own life. But even so, life, it's a miracle. Life, it's a opportunity. And even if I tell you that you should take care and appreciate your own life, that's something that you have to do yourself. And not because I really care. Everybody has to appreciate its own life. My life, it's so hard, harsh, unjust, and terrible. I don't have the gender and the body that I want so much. I have too many problems, poverty, scarcity, and lack of so many things. But even if my situation, it's so terrible, even so, I am able to appreciate life. But why there are so many people who don't think that life is truly a miracle? Why? It seems that they are looking and waiting for their next life. Life it's truly a miracle. Life it's a opportunity. Every new day it's a new opportunity. But maybe, they are not even worthy of living. Maybe they should not be alive. Of course that if you don't care about your own life, nobody else will care. Nobody. Life should be wonderful to every living creature. Unfortunately, to love life, first, you have to have a good and happy life. And even if I tell them that, truly, life it's a miracle, life it's a opportunity, that life it's something very special and precious. Each one of us has to appreciate their own life. If you are no able to appreciate your own life, of course that nor me or anybody will care for your life. Everyone has to care and appreciate their own life. There's nothing to do. They already make their decision. What it's the disappointment? The definition of disappointment it's of a person sad or displeased because someone or something has failed to fulfill one's hopes and expectations. It makes us look outside with envy, and towards ourselves with disappointment, powerlessness and disillusionment. And it fills us with failure and fear. But it should not be like that. We must see the success of others as an encouragement, incentive and motivation. If they can, surely so can we. But you must believe it with all of your mind and all of your heart. Since success, abundance and a better life do exist, yes they are possible, yes they are real and you are seeing them. Sometimes, when you completely and utterly gives up, it's when miracles happen. That your happiness, never, never, never depends of others. Never. Do not waste your time and your life, looking for the approval and acceptance of the society and others. Never. Because you are a special and unique being. Never, never, never depends on others. Never, never, never change your way of being, nor your thoughts, nor the way you dress, nothing. Just to be accepted by others. Never. Always be yourself. Think about this. What does the society really gives to you? Nothing good. Be healthy. And with the power of our mind, thoughts and our imagination, you can also create diseases and the cure. The word disease means a body that is not calm and ease. It means a body that is not in calm and peace. If you have a disease, I don't care what it is, you can dissolve it yourself. First you have to accept that this disease it's inside your body, it is inside your house, it is inside your temple, and that you are the owner of that temple, and you decide who enters or not. And everything that happens inside. The only thing that you have to do to heal yourself it's to expel that disease, feel healthy, feel that this disease was never inside your body. Consciously and unconsciously. Visualize and repeat this. Yes, I cannot get sick. 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 Consciously and unconsciously. I have 3 sons and I can't get sick. Never. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. Never feel sorry for yourself. Never. Repeat it many times in your day-to-day, and feel how that tumor, cancer or whatever you have, it is dissolving inside of your body. Even if you don't believe it, having a positive attitude of happiness, faith and hope makes that your body produce many antibodies, which will make your body to hardly get sick. But if you have a pessimistic and a dramatic attitude of hate, sadness and that always feeling the victim, then your body will weaken, your antibodies will be very low and you will undoubtedly get sick all the time. A positive person, with an attitude of joy, faith to succeed, and to overcome himself and any problem that comes his way, will almost never get sick, since his body is strong and that attitude will keep him healthy. Even if you don't believe it. If you're a scientist or a mathematician or a quantum physicist, then you know that everything in the universe has a 100% probabilities to happening and a 100% probabilities to not happening. But what will determine if it will happen or not? Everything it's possible, but it is a game of probabilities. The probabilities of happening or not happening are determined by you, with the power of your mind and with the energy and the time that you dedicate to your desire. It is you who decided what it will happen. It is you, your thoughts, your dreams, your imagination and your subconscious will determine the result. I know you don't believe this, but you have to believe it, because it is true. You are spending a lot of your daily time and energy creating terrible events for yourself. With the power of your imagination and visualizations. Instead of creating wonderful events, happenings, and wonderful things, like money. It's like if you are producing a horror movie for yourself. But the good news is that in the same way as you create those terrible events, you can create good and wonderful events and things that, yes, will become real. Like a happiness movie, a comedy, a romantic movie, or a success movie. Instead of thinking about bad and terrible events, occurrences, and happenings, create a happy movie, like this one. I went to work, but my boss was mad at me. I don't even know why. Then after going to eat, I was returning back to the office, and I was walking down the street and I saw a piece of paper that caught my attention. So I picked it up, and it was a lotto ticket, so I took out my cell phone and checked it with my phone, to see if it had any prize, and wow, that ticket had won the first prize. So the next day, because it was already late, I got up tired, because I could not sleep, because I was very excited, and instead of going to work, I went to the lotto offices to collect the prize money, and then I went home, and my wife and children were eating, and they were surprised that I came home early, so I told my wife and my children's about everything that had happened, and we laughed, and we were extremely, extremely happy. So we took the best vacation of our lives, and after we got back, we bought our dream house, and we invested the money in many companies, and we've been very, very happy and grateful ever since. Thanks to the universe. See. Instead of creating terrible events for yourself, create wonderful events, with the incredible power of your mind, your imagination, and your visualizations. But it is necessary that you create your happy story, with all the details, feelings, and emotions. Write it down and add all the details, feelings, and emotions, and visualize yourself living that beautiful and wonderful life. Over and over and over again. Consciously and unconsciously. The more time and energy you put into your stories, the faster they will be manifested to you. We always seek for pleasure, in all of his forms. Don't let that anyone takes your happiness from you. Nobody. Bad and ugly things happens to you, because you put too much energy and time to visualize them. Consciously and unconsciously. You are attracting what you fear, because you are visualizing it over and over and over again throughout your day. Consciously and unconsciously. Even though they are possible, they are still not real. But if you keep repeating them, over and over and over again, then you will make them come true, with the power of your mind and your powerful imagination. Change your thoughts for what you really want. Change your bad thoughts for good thoughts that will makes you happy. Use the incredible power of your brain, imagination, and your subconscious to visualize and create those wonderful events for you. The truth is that you are only attracting what you are thinking. Only your mind it's attracting events and things to your reality. The thought that you repeat the most is the manifestation that you are going to receive first. Consciously or unconsciously. You want it or not. We can obligate the universe to give us everything that we want. Throughout the feelings and emotions of the things that we want. People who have many good things and wealthy in their lives, it's because they focus and concentrates only on wealth and good things. And that they are sure that they can achieve them. But most people only focus on the bad things that they have, and on the good things that they don't have. But rich people focus and concentrate on the good things and riches. And the mistakes they have made, they use to learn about them and to not repeat them again. I know that there are many things that you want, such as a new and beautiful house, a business, a truck, and to travel. So, to manifest it faster, think of a certain amount of money, to buy everything that you want, and focus and concentrates only on that amount. Focus only on your thoughts. Focus only on your mind. Focus only on your feelings. Focus only on your emotions. Focus only on your subconscious. Focus only in your dreams. Focus only on your goals. But it's not good that you feel good about the good luck of others. You need to seek your good luck. The truth is that you are not really asking for money, what you really want is to feel freedom, peace, joy, happiness, and security. Remember that, in the universe, everything it's 100% possible. Everything. Absolutely everything. And that we are a very important part of the universe. Remember that you have the power to decide what it's that you really want. And to make it real. Visualize it and feel it, many times during your day. You have to put a lot of time and energy into it every day. Visualizing what you want, the more time and energy that you put into your desire, the faster that you will make it a reality. What you are imagining is what you are attracting into your life. Consciously or unconsciously. You want it or not. Therefore, you have to be clear in your mind, what is it exactly that you want and what are your objectives and your expectations. It's one of the most powerful PowerPoints that we have. And what is the sense of all this? What is the goal of life? What's the meaning of life? It's live. It is that you and your family are happy, and that you can feel joyful, because if you feel happy and joyful, then your family and your loved ones will be happy and joyful as well. Desire equals decision. Command, mandate equals send data. Order equals order your mind. Believe equals create. Create your new reality. Laziness and disbeliefs are the main cause of poverty. Have you heard the saying? The poor is poor because he wants to. But this is wrong. It is not like that. The poor is poor because he does not want to be rich. Because poor people are not lazy, they work a lot from sunrise to dawn. But even so, they are poor because they do not want to do what it's necessary to be rich. They do not want to study, pursue a career, start a business, stop drinking alcohol, read books, watch the news, learn, take courses, change friends that can encourage them to improve themselves. They are so fickle. They are so easily influenced and manipulated. They so easily believe false promises from people who only need them for votes. They believe that someone else will lift them out of poverty. They do not accept that only themselves have to get out of the poverty. The poor are not poor because they want to, the poor are poor because they do not want to do what is necessary to be rich. If you live, think and focus on the past, then you will be depressed. If you live, think and focus on the future, then you will be anxious, distressed and desperate. But if you live, think and focus on the present, then you will be calm and in peace. We have the right to have the gender and the body that we want. To be happy. It doesn't matter what others think. Stress. One of the biggest health problems of the present, since it is the cause of many other cardiovascular, stomach, mental diseases, suicides, self-harm and many more. First, let me tell you that stress is a thought. This is the only real definition of what stress is. Stress is to not having a real solution for a real problem or situation. It's as simple as this, not having a real solution to a real problem or situation. It's what causes the stress. Let me remind you that our mind tends to exaggerate situations that should not be exaggerated. And to minimize situations that are important. When your mind is not objective and congruent, you feel incapable of solving a problem or situation, which causes that state of stress and despair in your mind. Stress it's also generated when you doubt about your own capabilities and yourself. Absolutely everything has a solution, one way or another. Absolutely everything. Everything. To eliminate stress, you have to have a strong, orderly, balanced, organized, congruent, coherent, successful, structured, rational, logical, sensible, sensitive, calm, objective, consistent, intelligent and strong mind and thoughts. And you have to deal and to face the problem with a strong, balanced, congruent, coherent, structured, rational, logical, sensitive, calm, wise, intelligent, objective and consistent point of view. Sometimes the solution can be difficult and expensive, but there is always a solution to any problem. Always. And that is the way to eliminate stress, when you find the solution. And once that you find the solution, stress will disappear as if by magic. It is the only way to eliminate stress, face the problem and find the solution. You can follow these steps to solve any problem. 1. Observe. 2. Deduct. 3. To plan. 4. And the most importantly, act. Many times we think about how to fix things, but we never do it. Think about solutions. Don't think only about the problems. Think about solutions. We all have problems. Everybody. Rich and poor people. We all have problems. But successful and wealthy people do not focus only on the problems. They think about solutions. Everything has a solution. One way or another. Everything. If the problem has a solution, then don't worry, because it has a solution. If the problem has no solution, then don't worry, because the problem has no solution. If the problem has a solution, then fix it. If the problem has no solution, then accept it. Stop running away from your problems. Face them. Deal with them. With strength, courage, intelligence, and hope. But everything has a solution. One way or another. Everything. Absolutely everything. Nothing, absolutely nothing matters. Or, everything, absolutely everything that we do, matters. Even the smallest movement of our hand, matters. The disappointment. Disappointment, it's one of the most powerful feelings and thoughts that exist. The definition of disappointment is the feeling of failure and defeat for not having been able to reach or achieve an objective, goal, or expectation to which we had put many hours, time, energy, and hopes, thinking, visualizing, dreaming, planning, and projecting. Disappointment, it's something extremely powerful, since it can really affect us, and stop us in our development and personal improvement, since disappointment also generates fear and terror to try new ideas, projects, and relationships. Disappointment is synonymous of disillusionment. Disappointment, like bad memories, it's something that cannot be forgotten or eliminated, they have to be overcome. However, disappointment, if you know how to handle it properly, is a great way to learn about mistakes. Because no one born knowing everything, we all learn, and many times we learn a lot more from failures than from successes. It's what it's called, trial and error. Although it is true that disappointments fill us with fear and terror, you have to learn from your mistakes and try again. Learn from your mistakes and try again. Your attitude is very important to achieve all of your goals. Deception applies to both people and objects, things, projects, events, and businesses. But don't try to deny what happened. You have to accept what happened. You don't have to deny how you feel, don't deny your feelings. If you feel bad, recognize it and accept it. If you feel sad, recognize it and accept it. Disappointment is when we create and visualize in our mind great expectations about a person, object, thing, project, situation, event, business, or entrepreneurship. When it comes to a business, project, or event, it is a little easier to identify, accept, and overcome, since it is easier to accept, and you can analyze if the cause of not having achieved the objective was due to a poor planning. And you can learn a lot about why it didn't work, and try again. Yes, I know that after a disappointment we feel both physically and mentally exhausted, and you feel that you have lost your desire and confidence in yourself, you feel fear and shame. And you feel like you don't have the strength to move on, but even so, you have to get up and try again. The love disappointment. This type of disappointment, although it seems something very difficult to overcome, it really is not. You just have to analyze the cause of this disappointment, being very truthful and sincere with yourself. You have to analyze what were the expectations that you created towards that person, if they were realistic expectations, if your expectations were not to control and force this person to be with you. You have to be aware of what you gave in this relationship, not only what you think the other person did not give. Because when it comes to a person, it can easily become an obsession. You have to analyze and face the expectations that you had created towards this person. One of the most common expectations, and the one that fails the most, it's that the other person has to love you, no matter what you do to her. But this never works, because in a relationship, the two parties must give to be able to receive. But you must know that there is no universal power or law or magic that can be used to attract and control a person. There is not. If after analyzing the causes and the expectations that you had created, you realize the errors that you made, and you are willing to improve your attitude, then you should try again, but with more realistic expectations. You must identify and accept if it was love or obsession. To overcome disappointment, you have to analyze and face the causes and expectations that you had created. You have to accept the causes, and if it is because your expectations were not realistic, accept them and learn from your mistakes. Change them and try again. But for a person, you have to understand that there is no force or magic to attract and control any person. There is not. Everything has a solution. One way or another. Everything. Never give up. Never. The greatest and most unforgivable ignorance is closing on yourself. Believing that you know everything. The greatest ignorance is not wanting to learn. Hate. It is one of the most powerful feelings, emotions and thoughts that exist. I would like to tell you that love is more powerful than hate, but it is not. Even hate can be transmitted from generation to generation. The definition of hate is the feeling of repulsion, displeasure and intolerance towards a person, race or a group of people. It is the desire to cause a great damage and suffering to a person or a group of people. And usually it is caused by the lack of justice against the people or groups who have consciously committed violent and unjust acts, without any valid reason, against us, or our family. Likewise, against people who, with total arrogance, treachery and abuse of power, have humiliated us, offended us, denigrated us, embarrassed us, betrayed us, insulted us or threatened us, for no reason. Taking advantage of their power, position, gender and social position, or even by relatives. It is when they abuse their power and position to abuse, humiliate and cause physical or psychological harm to other people, or us. For no reason. I know that you have felt an enormous hatred towards people who, shielded by their gender and position, have offended and humiliated you, and you have seen on their faces that expression of joy when they do it. Since they mistakenly believe that due to their gender and position, they can do whatever they want, and that nothing can be done against them. And that impotence and hate are accumulating inside of you, and it makes you feel bad, powerless and with a lot of fury and rage, and you wish and hope that those acts of arrogance are punished by a divine act. The problem is that no living creature or being should, cannot, or will tolerate this type of humiliation, bullying and attitudes, and as it accumulates day by day, the moment to explode will undoubtedly come, and perhaps this will lead to an act of extreme violence against them. As it has happened so many times in the world. I don't know if they are justified or not, but they are valid, reasonable and understandable, since the other people acted consciously and even felt pleasure in making others to suffer. But no human being should or can put up with this. There have even been cases in which the people who carried out these violent acts in self-defense were calm, submissive and good people, but who could no longer bear so much abuse, humiliation, offenses and mistreatment, and they did these acts as a form of self-defense. Hate is something that we come to feel many times in our daily day. And depending on the degree of hate that we feel, it could affect us a lot in our life, since it really blocks our will to live and to move forward, until justice is done. And perhaps it is something valid, justified, reasonable, understandable and acceptable, since we all know and have suffered acts of unjustified violence towards us, and our families, by people or groups of people, who enjoy and are aware of their actions and to causing harm to others. Extreme hate may lead to committing extreme acts of violence towards persons, groups of people or towards the government itself. When the government does not comply with its obligation to protect and punish the guilty, since in many countries like Mexico, the government does not comply to protecting people and their property. Au contraire, the government is part of the criminal groups, and that they protect the criminals, since it has been known of so many cases in which the government does not protect their own citizens, but that they even are in complicity, and are part of the criminal groups, and that the government protects the criminals. Hate can even be against God, as it was found written in a barracks in Auschwitz, "God will have to ask me for forgiveness," written by a Jew, in the concentration camp, since the hate was due to the lack of God's justice. And for all these reasons, hate becomes something valid, justified and legitimate, since that person or group of persons acted consciously with treachery, arrogance, presumptuous and abuse of power. When there are already verbal or physical violence, or even threats, from another or other persons towards ourselves or our family, we have the legal right to defend, repel and answer that aggression against us, with the physical means that we have at hand. It doesn't matter who it is. Because we have the legal right to defend our integrity. Hate causes in us to be in a bad mood and with an aggressive attitude towards others, but the only way to overcome hate is to confront alone or accompanied the person or group of people causing of this hatred. But many times we are afraid to confront our boss or the people that cause this hate. Because you don't want to lose your job, friendship or relationship. But when there are already offenses and aggressions, then you can no longer continue in that job or with that friendship or in that relationship. You simply cannot. You have to accept and understand that it's over. It has been lost. You have to accept and understand that relationship, it's over. It has been lost. It's over. The best way to overcome hate is to face the people, face to face. No matter the consequences. Because that relationship, it's over. But a consequence of hate, which is not valid or acceptable, even that it is something reprehensible and cowardly, is that you try to get even with other people who are not even guilty. That you unload your hate towards your children, your wife, your mother or your loved ones, or your pets, who does not have the blame. Release your hate towards the people who are guilty of your hate. Let's see if you are so brave. And no matter who they are. Because many people unload their anger against the weakest, such as against their children, wife, mother or pets, since they are afraid of facing their boss or the people who are to blame for the hate they feel. Don't be a coward to hurt your wife, your mother or your children's. Download your anger and hate towards the guilty of the hate that you feel. Let's see if you are so brave. Hate could make us lose control and hit and hurt people who are not even guilty, but even if you say and have reasons to be angry, that does not give you any right to hurt people who are not at guilty. But never take your hate on your loved ones. That is a very cowardly act. Yes, I know that many times we have tolerated so many insults, humiliations, exploitation and abuse from our bosses or the people that we work for. Due to the need that we have to work. Since they take advantage of our need, to humiliate us, offend us, exploit us and mistreat us. And this is undoubtedly an unfair and despicable act from their part. Really, hate it's something that hurts us all a lot, and unfortunately there is no way to overcome it. And he will not let us be calm and in peace, until that we see that person pays for his acts. Hate is the main cause of revenge. Extreme hate will inevitably becomes to revenge. Perhaps seeking justice by one's own hand, seeing that the authorities do not comply with their obligation, can become the only way. The best choice. The divine justice. What is a curse? Although this seems something bad or a dark topic, it really is not, since in the universe there are forces and powerful beings of justice, which can be invoked to help us to do justice. Divine justice. A curse is to invoke the divine power to do the divine justice against a person or a group of people, who with total treachery, arrogance, injustice, abuse of power and joy, they did us a physical or psychological damage, without any reason. It's to invoke with reason and total justification, the divine forces and energies through a curse, against a person, or group of persons who did us great harm. Both physical and mental. And since it is a fair and legitimate claim, with reasons and evidences, the universe will act against that person or group of people. Because they deserve it. When the hate towards a person it's justified, then, you can invoke very powerful forces and energies of the universe, through justified cursing that person, or to that group of people. You can curse a person or a group of people, by cursing them. With proof and evidences. Since their acts have caused us great damage. Since the hate towards her or him, it's justified and valid to punish her. No one escape a curse. Nobody. When there are reasons, justification and evidences. No one escapes divine justice. Nobody. Also, if you feel that your life has been bad, unfair and full of pain and sadness, and you believe that it has been caused by the divine and unfair intervention of a divine being or force, you can also curse them. Since there are reasons, justification and evidences. No one escapes divine justice. Nobody. And this applies to everyone. As the Bible says. Exodus 22:22-24. Do not exploit or mistreat widows or orphans or those in need, because they are in need. Because if you do it, and they ask me for help, I assure you that I will attend their cry. And my rage will burn, and I will kill you with the edge of the sword. And your women will become widows, and your children will become orphans and needs. Like usury, usurers, banks and pawn shops. Because they take advantage of the needs of people, to charge extremely high interest. And exaggerated pawn. And they getting richest at the expense of the need and desperation of others. Also to the people and companies, that abuse and exploit their workers, due to their need to work. Hate is mainly caused by impotence. Hate makes revenge and justice become the same. Hate attracts extremely powerful forces and energies. Never underestimate the power of evil. Never underestimate the power of evil. Good doesn't always win. Hate attracts revenge. You have to be brave and strong. You have to fight for yourself and for your family. You have to fight for your dreams. You need to fight for your dreams. What is forgiveness? Does it really exist? The definition of forgiveness it's the remission of the deserved penalty for the offense received, or of any outstanding debt or obligation. But can forgiveness really help us? As such, forgiveness towards someone who has done us physical, emotional or psychological harm, it's something very, very difficult for most of the people. Perhaps it is not part of human nature to forgive. Since those people who damage us, or our family, did it with total awareness of what they were doing, they did it with total treachery, arrogance and joy. And that is why for many people it is very difficult to forgive and to forget. Because most of those people do not really feel the slightest regret or remorse for their acts. Many say that we have to forgive in order to move forward with our lives. But I don't know if it's true. And if this really will help us. Since when there is a need to forgive, it is because there has already been an action of damage against us, or our family, and that action of damage was done with total awareness and treachery of that person or group of people towards us, or our families. And that they damage us, or our families, without any valid reason or excuse. True forgiveness has to be done person to person, live, and face to face. But many people who have caused damage to others do not feel any real regret or remorse for their actions and acts. Since even the most of those people enjoyed causing harm to others, and this causes even more hate towards those people. And that hate doesn't allow us to forgive them. And to not forgive someone who has caused us so much damage and pain does not make us bad people or intolerant. If you don't want to forgive, so don't forgive. If you don't want to forgive, then don't forgive. But you do have to forget. You need to forget. You need to forget and to get over that. You need to forget and move forward. You need to forget those people and those situations. If you don't want to, then don't forgive them, but you do have to get over them. Don't forgive. But do forget. True forgiveness is something difficult to grant, since as its definition says, it is the remission of the guilt of someone who has already caused us damage, without any valid reason. Forgiveness depends on each of us, since it is something that cannot be demanded or imposed. But as I had told you, there are people who do not feel the slightest regret or remorse for their acts. True forgiveness can be granted to our family and children, since blood and family ties are very powerful. But forgiving strangers who have harmed us for no valid reason, it is something very, very difficult. Something very hard. But if you don't want or feel to forgive someone, then don't forgive her. And this will not make you a bad person or intolerant. If you don't want to forgive someone, then don't forgive them. But do forget. But also when you ask for forgiveness, it is not very sure that they will grant it to you. Hate makes justice and vengeance become the same. If you put a curse on someone and you have reasons, evidence and justification, then, that curse will fall on that person, because he deserves it. Justice. Justice is the punish people who have harmed others for no reason. It is giving the reason to someone, when there is a dispute for some land or good. It is giving rights to people who deserve it. It is to give the reason to whoever has it. Justice has to be free, strong, fair, convincing, overwhelming, expeditious, direct and objective. It has to be free, and powerful. It must be free of pressure and bribery. Justice has to be free, overwhelming, powerful, direct, strong, fair and forceful. To everyone. In all the sacred books, much is said about justice. It is instructed on how it will be imparted and by whom, and that the judges must be fair, just and upright. There is also said many times, that no one can be punished without witnesses and evidences. But unfortunately, we see every day, all over the world, how judges and persons in charge of imparting justice are bribed, and corrupt, to fail in the favor of the bad, and evil people. Bribery and corruption diverts justice from the just, and delivers it to the unjust, evil and wicked. As the Bible says, you will make fair judgments, you will not show favoritism to the poor for being poor, or for the rich for being rich. Thou shalt not accept bribes, because bribery clouds the sight of the righteous, and perverts the judge's tongue. We all believe that we have the reason, and that we are right, when we have a difference and a dispute with our neighbors and our enemies, but it is better that you analyze your own case, before going to see the judge. As the Bible says. And when you go along in the road together with your enemy, to go see the judge. Better agree with him. Don't be that, the judge put you in jail until you pay everything that you owe, and he it's released. When you go on the road to see the judge, next to your enemies, you better get an agreement with him. Don't be that the judge put you in jail until you pay everything that you owes, and that the judge release your enemy. Exodus 23. You shall not testify falsely or help the wicked by giving false testimony. Do not follow the majority to do wrong, you will not deviate from justice to say what everyone says. When it comes to justice, you should not favor, not even the poor. When you find your enemy's ox or donkey lost, you must deliver it to him. You have to. If you see your enemy's donkey down with its load, don't pass by, but you must help him lift it up. You must help him. Do not twist the right of the poor in his lawsuit. Stay away from the lies. You will not put to death the innocent or the just, because I will not forgive the guilty. Do not receive gifts, because gifts dazzle the prudent, and harm the rights of the just. Do not oppress the foreigners, because you know what is to be a foreigner. Since you were foreigners in the land of Egypt, you will not move a single inch, the stones that limit your property with that of your neighbor. Do justice, both on the street, and at work, and at your own home. But one thing is the justice of man, and another it's the justice from God. The divine justice. Because in the universe, there are powerful divine beings, who love justice, and that they defend it and impart the divine justice. And the way to invoke the divine justice, it's through cursing with reason, justification and evidence, the person or persons, who with full consciousness, treachery, arrogance and abuse of power, caused us into our families, physical and psychological damage. No one escapes the divine justice. Nobody. When we know and see, that there is no justice from the authorities that have the obligation. The only way left, it's to do justice by our own hand. Without justice, there will never be peace. Without justice there will never be peace. Use your power. If you have a bad attitude, do not expect to receive good things. Love. Love is a feeling, more than a thought or an idea. It is one of the most powerful forces that exist in the entire universe. It is a feeling more than a thought. It's a feeling that we feel when we are close to someone, a living being or an animal. Love is not towards objects, that is called desire or obsession. There really is no definition of what love is. My definition of love it's giving, not receiving. Giving to another living being, good feelings of appreciation, affection, caring, attachment, friendship, admiration, gratitude, respect, responsibility, and protection. It is giving without asking for anything in return. Therefore, if you give a coin to someone poor, you are loving him. If you give food to an animal, you are loving it. If you help someone who needs help, you are loving them. Love is sharing with another living being the material riches and the wealth that we have. It's feeling good when the person that we love also feels good. It's to feel happy when the person that we love it's also feeling happy. It's to feel and appreciate the life and the heat of the living being that we love. It is sharing and celebrating the triumphs with whom we love. True love, it's very powerful, and we feel it several times in our daily day. True love, it's something that we feel, but that we cannot, nor should we try to explain, we just have to enjoy it. Love's it's doing everything that it takes to make the person that we love happy. Unfortunately, only true love can overcome any adversity. But since love is a feeling, more than a thought, it cannot be demanded or imposed or bought. But true love cannot be bought, demanded, or imposed. True love, it's not always reciprocal. Only true love can be eternal. There are many ways to express love. We can love many people, living beings and animals. Because love has no limits. Love does not have race, gender, age, color, name, sex, skin color, or look. Caresses and hugs have an enormous power to make the people that we love feel good. It's a love without commitment. The love of the parents towards their children, it's greater and more powerful than the love of a couple. There is absolutely nothing that a father or a mother would not do to protect their children. Nothing. Nothing. In these current times, it seems that love is disappearing, it seems that love it's cooling down. Since we see every day on the news, acts of so much cruelty, violence, and lack of love towards other living creatures and beings. Love can get cold and disappear when we see and feel that the person that we love does not respond to the love that we offer. You must also be able to identify if it is love, dependence, or obsession. Surely that you have heard or even said, "Why does love hurt so much?" And this is conclusive proof that you don't realize what you're saying. Why does love hurt so much? Love does not hurt. Love is something wonderful, unique, and powerful. What hurts, it's the heartbreak, the betrayal, the deceit, and the lack of love. But love, it's a wonderful and powerful thing. Love, it's maybe the most powerful and good feeling that we can feel. Love can heal everything. Everything. Love can cure everything. Absolutely everything. True love can heal and cure everything. Absolutely everything. Everything. Love has no limits, no form, no religion, no race, and no gender. As Jesus said, "Love one another as much as I have loved you." We must love and respect life. Truly. Love can heal and cure everything. Absolutely everything. The trust. Trust, it's something very difficult to explain. It is a strong and special feeling, in which intuition and instincts influence a lot. It is something like magic, as on a spiritual and energy level, it is like the reception of good energy from the other person. It is a feeling, more than a thought, because even if someone tells you that you have to trust him, or her, or someone else, you won't do it, until you feel it. The definition of trust, it's a feeling of security and protection, that you feel when you are close to certain people. It is like a magical bond that is created between two people, which makes you feel safe when you are with him or her. Feeling that that person feels interest, protection, and security towards you, and that the other person cares about you. It is like a commitment, like a pact between the two. It is a feeling more than a thought. But also when you feel mistrust of someone, it is because both your instincts and intuition perceive that person it's not good, and that it will try to hurt you. Walk away. So also trust can be used to expect good things. If you expect that something bad it's going to happen to you, then, without a doubt, something bad will happen to you. If you expect that something good it's going to happen to you, then, without a doubt, something good will happen to you. If you trust that you are going to be successful, then, without a doubt, you will be successful. If you expect that you are going to fail, then without a doubt you will fail. Trust is, as if you had a sheet of paper and you crumpled it up, and then you try to unwrinkle it, but no matter how hard you try, it will never be the same. It's good to trust. But it's better not to trust. Don't trust the strangers. Do not trust God. Never trust God. Never. What are presentiments, hunches, and presages? The definition of presentiment: it's a sensation and feeling of alertness and alert, for immediate or a future danger. It is something like extrasensory. This means that it comes from beyond our five senses. It's what's called our sixth sense. And if you don't believe me that exists, this is the evidence. It has happened to all of us, that we are somewhere and if someone's staring at us, from the distance, watching us. Then we feel that someone is watching us, and we turn around to see who is watching us. But why? How? If we were looking at another place, but even so, we felt that someone else was staring at us from far away. We feel that someone else was staring at us, watching us. That is our sixth sense. It is something difficult to understand and to explain, but we have all felt it. And it is something that usually comes from our stomach and our heart. Not from our mind. It is a sensation and a feeling that puts us on alert. It is something like magic, like outside of all logic, science and understanding, but it is true. Science has not been able to explain this. Perhaps the presentiments and hunches comes from the universe, or it could be a warning from ourselves from the future, or from someone who wants to protect us, perhaps an angel or a relative who has already passed away. No one knows exactly where they come from. But we feel them many times in our daily day. But why don't we listen to them? When we have a feeling, our mind tries to analyze the reason for that feeling. Our mind tries to find a valid reason for that feeling that we feel. But after not finding any logical reason, our own mind discards it. Because our mind doesn't find a valid and logic reason for that feel that we are feeling. But we need to listen, pay attention and obey our presentiments, our hunches and the presages. Because they are real, and they trying to protect us, and our families. If you feel that something it's not right, then do not do it. If you feel that something it's right, then do it. Pay attention and listen to your intuition and your heart. Science has discovered that we have neurons in our heart and our stomach, so the presentiments and the hunches are not generated by our mind, they come from somewhere else. To avoid problems and dangerous situations for us and our families, we should better pay and listen with much more attention to our premonitions, hunches, feelings and presentiments. And pay attention to them. We should obey our hunches. Science knows that we have a sixth sense, which we still do not understand it at all. Perhaps the presentiments and premonitions comes from God or some angel or force or energy that it's trying to protect us. It's like a gift from the universe to us. Pay a lot more attention to your intuition, premonitions, presages and presentiments. Obey them. If you feel that something it's wrong, then you better don't do it. If you feel that something it's right, then do it. If you are going to buy a car, but if you feel that something it's not right, despite that everything seems okay, then you better not buy it. If you go somewhere, and you feel that something it's not right, then you better get out of there. Don't try to understand why. Just pay attention to what you feel. Don't try to understand why you feel that, pay attention to your feelings and to your intuition. If you feel that something it's wrong, don't do it. If you feel that something it's wrong, then you better not do it. If you feel that something it's right, then do it. Don't pay so much attention to what you think, pay more attention to what you feel. Been alive, it's a miracle. Make good actions and deeds towards your family and to others. And the reward from heaven will be great in this life. What is the respect? Respect, it's a feeling, more than a thought. The definition of respect, it's the feeling attention and consideration towards a person. But respect can be a two-edged knife. But this definition, it's wrong. Because when you have to feel consideration towards someone, it means that you feel pity towards that person, not respect. Pity, it's not respect. Respect, it's when you feel admiration for someone. Admiration, it's synonymous of respect. Nor consideration and attention, since consideration and attention, it's feeling pity for that person, not respect. When you admire someone, either for their successes, or their good deeds, or for their intelligence, for their abilities, or for what they are capable of performing, then you can feel respect towards him or her. There are three aspects, those that lead to respect for someone: the admiration, the consideration, and the attention. If you got a job somewhere, and they tell you and demand you, that you have to respect the bosses and the directors, just because of their hierarchy, but you see that their acts and their way of treating other people, it's abusive, rude and arrogant, then still, even if you are forced and demanded that you have to respect them, inside you, you will never respect them. Because respect, it's a feeling more than a thought or an idea. What you will do, it's to tolerate them, but it is not respect, and remember that the tolerance goes as far as you decide. Because respect also means obedience and submission. Since true respect cannot be imposed, forced or bought. There are people who feel a great powerlessness due to their ineptitude and lack of attitudes and knowledge. And when they acquired certain power, they try to force people to respect them through violence and imposition, since otherwise they would never could achieve the respect from others. But fear, it's fear. Fear, it's not respect, and in the end, people will continue without respecting them, even though they feel fear, but fear, it's not respect. And fear will lead to revenge. Respect is earned. Let me tell you that respect, like love, it's as something that cannot be demanded, purchased or imposed. Respect, it's an instinct. Respect towards someone else is something very difficult, since it also implies submission and obedience towards that person. If you were to analyze your feelings, you would realize that there are really very few people whom you really respect. Like our mother, who shows us with her actions of making us to eat, being aware of us, and so many actions of love towards us, which generate in us a huge and total respect towards her. Our own mother earns our admiration. And admiration, it's respect. Since respect is earned with actions. Respect, it's very similar to love. True love and respect are almost the same. No one can force us to respect someone. Nobody. It doesn't matter of their social hierarchical, government or family position, since respect, it's something that it's really earned, through the attitude and actions of that person or groups. Even if someone wants to impose respect towards another person or towards him or herself, inside of us, we will never really respect them. Tolerance and respect are very different. You can tolerate someone or a group, but it is not respect. Remember that tolerance ends whenever you decide so. Respect entails submission and obedience. Respect, it's admiration towards someone. Many minority groups try to impose on us the respect for their ideas through violence and imposition, since these groups say that if you do not accept, respect and agree with all of their ideas, it is because you are intolerant and a bad person. This means that, when they ask you what you think about their ideals, they don't want to hear your point of view, they want to hear what they want you to think about them. In other words, they talk about freedom of expression, but if you don't treat them and think like them, then they will catalog and label you as an intolerant and a bad person. So these groups are hypocrites, since they talk about freedom of expression, but they want to impose their ideas and the ways of thinking with violence. But each one of us has the universal right to the free expression, and the freedom of thinking, which means that we have the total and absolute freedom to agree or disagree with these groups. Remember that it is not respect, it is tolerance. Also, many groups and people try to impose respect towards them through fear and violence. But since respect, it's a feeling, more than a thought. It is not possible to demand it, impose it or buy it. It's not possible. Fear is not respect, fear is fear, and fear leads to hate and revenge. The idea it's imposed on us, that we have to respect certain groups of people only because of their gender, age, social class, position in the company, social strata, government position, sexual preference and profession. But we have all seen and suffered from the actions of arrogance, mistreat, abuse, and a very bad attitude of many of these people against us, and our families, who try to humiliate us, denigrate us, and force us to do things that we do not want to do. Shielded in the respect that according to them they deserve. I can't generalize, but lots of people use this tactic. I cannot say that all women are good, nor can I say that all elderly are good, nor that all the youngsters are good, nor that all men are bad, nor that all people are good. And much less I can affirm that the president, his cabinet and the government people are good. And that are they not corrupt, or that they seeking the good of our country. Since his actions totally demonstrate the opposite. But as I have already told you, respect it's earned, it's not demanded, or bought, or imposed. You do not have the obligation of any form to respect, whom you do not consider worthy of your respect, since there is no law in the world that obligates you and force you, to respect any person or a group of persons, against your will. There is not. If someone tells you that you have to respect them only because of their gender, age, social position, hierarchy or profession, it is not true. This means that not because he is your boss do you have to respect him, nor do you have to put up with or tolerate his insults, bad jokes, sexual jokes, rudeness, offenses, sexual violence, humiliation, blows or harassment, just because he is your boss. Or that you have to tolerate insults, offenses, humiliation, bad jokes, sexual jokes, physical attacks or harassment, on the part of a woman, the elderly, authorities, public servants, relatives, members of the clergy, or the president or from absolutely nobody. Even if they say that you have to tolerate it, and to do what they say, for the respect that according to them they deserve. You will not have to do it. But, if there are already offenses, insults and aggressions from someone you respect, or family member, or friend, or from your partner, or from someone that you depend on economically, you do not have, nor should tolerate them or allow them. Because if you allow it, they will continue to do it, since they know that you depend on them. You have to defend yourself, without fear of losing your job, friendship or relationship, since when these offenses, insults and aggressions already exist. You have to realize, understand and accept that relationship and friendship has already been lost, it is over. And you should not, nor do you have to tolerate it, or allow them. Tolerance goes as far as you decide. Likewise, respect cannot be demanded towards religious groups or groups of any kind, since we have all known of such countless acts of corruption and sexual abuse towards boys and girls by these groups, which preach love, but their actions are of violence and abuses. Since we have all had seen, these acts of arrogance, generate hate towards those people and groups. Hate attracts hate. Violence attracts violence. There are many people who will try to impose your respect towards them, through fear and violence. Never allow it. Since respect it's something very valuable and powerful, that you give to whom you consider worthy. Because respect entails and demands submission and obedience. There are even people who will try to impose respect towards them, because according to them, they have the luck or by a divine design of having been born in rich families, and that makes them better than you. And that you are not like them, because you are not worthy. And that's why you have to respect them and do everything that they order you to do. Which is not true. Respect it's only earned through actions. Admiration it's respect. Respect it's admiration. Respect for yourself. As I have already said, respect is the feeling of admiration and consideration. That is why it is very important that you respect yourself. You have to admire yourself, to be able to respect yourself. Admire what you do day by day, don't minimize your own successes. Self-confidence it's the best thing that you can do. But to feel sure of yourself, you must first respect yourself, and to respect yourself, you must first admire yourself, and to admire yourself, you must first accept and love yourself. Remember that you and your body will be united for all of your life. If you don't respect yourself, then no one else will respect you. If you don't appreciate yourself, then no one else will appreciate you. If you don't love yourself, then no one else will love you. If you don't love yourself, then no one else will love you. If you don't admire yourself, then no one else will respect you. In this world with more than 8 billion people, what is your value? How much are you worth? People will treat you the same way as you treat yourself. If you feel important, that is what you are transmitting, and that is how people will treat you. Even if you're not yet a millionaire, even if you do not have too much money. But even so, if you feel important and better than the others, then people will treat you better and they will treat you with respect. Even if you're poor, but if you feel important, the people will treat you with respect. Even so, feel important. Because everything starts from our wonderful mind. How you feel is how you are vibrating, and that is what you are transmitting. And the universe, the people and the energy that surround us, they are responding to you, to how you feel. You have to feel an attitude of acceptance, appreciation, respect and admiration towards yourself, no matter if you have achieved a lot or a little in your life. It doesn't matter if you consider yourself ugly, fat, skinny, dumb, short or with a disability. You are worthy of respect. Feel important. But you have to earn the respect from others. But if you don't value, appreciate and love yourself, then no one else will. The more you value yourself, the more sure of yourself you will feel. First, accept yourself. Later, admire yourself. Then, take care of yourself. Then, you have to love yourself. And if you are unable to admire yourself, if you are unable to find something good about yourself, then you really have a serious self-esteem problem. Because you must understand and accept that you are going to be with yourself all of your life. With your own body. With your own mind. Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Wealth and success are possible. But it all depends on you. Never ever allow that someone else controls you. Never. How do we teach our children the respect? As we have already seen, respect it is something very important and delicate, since it entails submission and obedience towards that person or groups of people. That's why you should not teach your children that they have to respect everyone. That they have to respect them only because of their age, gender, hierarchical position, social position, profession or if they are family or friends. Because if you teach this to them, you are opening the door for them to abuse your sons or daughters. You can teach them what I call pre-respect or tolerance. This is the first thing to do before respecting someone. First, pre-respect someone, and if this person shows them with their actions that they are worthy of their respect, then they will respect you. But if your actions are not good, then you will not be respected. Because if we teach them that they have to respect all the teachers, the principal, or all the elderly people, or the president, or the authorities, or all the relatives, or friends and acquaintances, and that they have to respect everyone, and that they can talk to them and treat them however they want, just for the fact of being elderly, we are putting them in danger, since we all know and have seen the abuses that these people have done, shielded in the respect that according to them they deserved. I know this will be difficult for you to accept, because then, we also have to earn their respect. But it's better that way. You don't have to impose to them the respect for you. You have to earn the respect from your children to you. You have to earn the admiration from your children's towards you. It's better this way. We have to achieve their admiration towards us. Do not seek their respect through pity and fear. Earn their admiration for you. It's better that way. If you are going to buy them something, do not condition them to give you a kiss or a hug, because if you do that, then you are teaching them that in order to receive something that they want, they have to give something of their body in return. Because that this could be used by other people to abuse them. Physical strength, it's not the strongest of all forces. Your mental and spiritual force, your intelligence and your willpower, are much stronger. Most people do not deserve respect. Not everyone deserves respect. Respect, it's feeling admiration for someone. Admiration, it's respect. Respect is earned. You have to know how to greet and say hello. But you also have to know how to say goodbye. You have to know when something it's good for you, and when to walk away. You also has to be very strong to say no. The atoms are never, never still. They are always moving, they are always vibrating. And in movement. The atoms that forms our soul, our body, our spirit, our heart and our mind, are also never still, they are always vibrating, and they are vibrating to the rhythm of our thoughts, feelings and emotions. And that is what you are emitting and transmitting. And that is what you are attracting into your life. You are attracting events, situations and people, similar to what you are vibrating. What are you vibrating? If you are vibrating joy, faith and hope, then you are attracting joy, faith and hope. If you are vibrating sadness, anguish, problems, poverty, sadness and hopelessness, then you are attracting sadness, anguish, problems, poverty, sadness and hopelessness. What you think and feel, that is what you are vibrating, and that is what you are transmitting, and that is what you are receiving into your life. That's what you are attracting. Since the atoms that form our soul, mind, heart and our entire body, are always vibrating to the rhythm of your thoughts and feelings. And that is what you are attracting into your life. You must understand that everything that you are thinking, it's what you are vibrating. You have to understand that everything that you are feeling, it's what you are vibrating. And what you are vibrating, it's what you are emitting and transmitting to others and to the entire universe. And that it's exactly what you are attracting to your life, and into your reality. What are you vibrating in this moment? What is it that makes you happy? What gives you happiness? Many times we are afraid of feeling new sensations. Do not deny your own feelings. How to eliminate worrying? This may seem like an impossible thing to do. But truly, it is not. We all have concerns about many things, problems and situations that happen to us in our daily day. In our life. Worries, it's synonym of anguish, despair, hopelessness, uncertainty, fear, problems and stress. Worry, it's stress, and stress, it's not having a real solution to a real problem or situation. First of all, let me tell you that our mind tends to exaggerate situations that should not be exaggerated, and to minimize situations that are very important. Worries are caused by the anguish of uncertainty, of not knowing what is going to happen, to not having a real solution to a real problem and situation. The uncertainty of how the problem it's going to be fixed. Worries are generated by the fear of not knowing what is going to happen. The fear and anguish of the cost that the solution may have. And this does not let us be calm and at peace, until that problem is solved. But meanwhile, it will cause us a lot of anguish and fear. Also, many people waste a lot of time, asking themselves, God and the universe, why do so many bad things happen to me? Why do I have so many problems? And this is, even if you don't believe it and accept it, it is because you are attracting them to you. You are vibrating problems, and that is why you are attracting problems. Worries and anguish, it usually appears and torments us at night, when we are lying down, and this is because at that moment, we cannot act to solve the problems that we have. That's why worry and stress appear at night. Since during the day, we can look for a solution to our problem, but at night we cannot find the solution to our problems. One way to end the worries and the stress, it's instead of thinking so much about the problem, think about solutions. Think solutions. Think solutions. Think solutions. You can also think about what's the worst that could happens? What's the worst thing that could happens? What's the worst thing that could happens? And so your mind will calm down, and you will be able to relax until the time to face the problem in the day. Because it is very important that you can sleep and rest at night, because if you don't, you will lose strength and energy, which you will need during the day, to solve the problem. Many people try to solve their problems by themselves, but the best way is to seek help from others. Of professional people. So you can solve it faster. Many people try to fix things that perhaps they don't know how to do or don't have the necessary tools, like a car problem, and even if you have the attitude and the desire to do it yourself, which it's good, sometimes it can come to be worse and could cause bigger problems. Believe me. It's better to take it to a place where they have the necessary tools and professionals, who can fix it well. Look for help. Always look for help. But also, if you want to cry, then cry, because it is important that you release the tension that you have, so that your mind could calms down, and you can find the solution faster. That's why. Don't worry. Take care of the solution, until when the moment arrives. Also, a way to end worry and stress, is to think and plan the solution. You can follow these steps. 1. Observe. 2. Analyze. 3. Deduce. 4. Plan the solution. 5. And most importantly, act. Think solutions. Even if you don't believe it, it seems that men, above all, seek to have problems, and this is due to their instinct to overcome and survive. Because after overcoming a problem, they feel extremely good. That's why perhaps, we ourselves, look for problems in order to overcome them. But it's extremely important that you relax. For your mental and physical health, you need to relax. 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 Let the world turn without you tonight. You need to relax, don't be so dramatic. Stop the drama. Don't exaggerate your own problems. Don't overthink too much. Relax. 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 Let the world turn without you tonight. Sometimes when you completely and absolutely gives up, that's when miracles happens. Sometimes when you completely give up, that's when miracles happen. Always. Have faith. Have hope. But, act. What are complaints? The definition of complaint is the expression of disgust, displeasure and intolerance to something or to somebody. But, can you complain? Complaining, it's a human necessity to express what we do not like about something or a situation. We complain expecting that somebody else will fix it. But can we complain about our own life? To who? To whom? Can we complain about our own life expecting an answer? From who? Let's say that somebody is in the hospital with pulmonary emphysema because he or she smoked all of their life, even knowing of the consequences. And even if they need oxygen to breathe and respirators, even so, they continue to smoke. It would be okay for them to complain. Nobody has to complain for the things that they have done, knowing of the consequences. Let's say that somebody is in the hospital with alcoholic hepatitis, and he complains that he feels very bad, that he has a lot of pain, and that he suffers a lot. That it hurts too much. But then, even knowing the consequences to excessive alcohol drinking, why does he complains? If he drink more than 2 liters of beer and alcohol every day, why does he is complaining? Why? Let's say that somebody complains that he can't find a very good job because he is too lazy to study and that he did not finish college. But in every good job, with a good salary, they asked for college. Or let's say that you always complain about your job and the salary that you earns. But you know that in the company that you work, there are trainings and courses to apply to a better position in the company. But you prefer to go with your friends to drink beer. And even so, you still complaining. Even if you have the opportunity to improve your life, you prefer to go with your friends to drink beer, spending the few money that you earn on beers. Do you think that is fair to complain? But let's say that you have some money, and you go to a restaurant, and you order a steak with French fries and a soup. But let's say that the soup is cold and it doesn't taste good. Then, you can complain with the manager and with the chef about this. And they will fix it, because you are paying for that. But if you make the soup, with who can you complain? To who? To yourself. Do you have the right to complain? Do you have the right to complain? Do you? As you see, complaining, it's a necessity to express our discord, disgust and displeasure for a situation or thing. But in the majority of cases we should not complain. Because it's our own fault. We have the responsibility for our own life. Do you have the right to complain about your own life? Do you? To who? Instead of complaining, shut up and get out and improve your own life. Face all your problems with strength, braveness and intelligence. Don't be lazy. Do not complain. Fight for your dreams. Fight for your goals. Fight for yourself. Fight for your family. Because if you're complaining about everything, including for the good things that you haven't received, then the universe will not give you any more good things. Because you complain about everything. Because you are complaining about everything. And you are not thankful for the good things that you have. Everything has a solution. One way or another. Everything. Absolutely everything. Look for help. Do not leave pendings. Truly, love can heal absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. Love can heal any disease. Love can heal everything. Absolutely everything. Love can conquer everything. Absolutely everything. Love can overcome everything. Absolutely everything. The atoms are waiting for our will to move and to transform. The atoms are waiting for a purpose. All the atoms are waiting for their purpose. They are waiting for us to give them a purpose. The atoms are waiting for our will and our orders. For a purpose.